going to be a makeup tutorial on this look right here. It's funny because I really had to step outside of my comfort zone to create this look. Like, I had to push myself because this is not a look that I would typically do on myself. Not to mention this lip color, I've owned it for months and I think it's such a pretty color to look at, but I'm like, no thank you, not for me. I forced myself to put it on and I'm like, okay, now I don't want to take it off. And isn't that like how it works? They say life begins at the end of your comfort zone, you know? Never thought that applied to makeup until today. So today's makeup look is going to be created with the Anastasia Self-Made palette. Such a good palette, you guys. I know there was a ton of hype about it when it first came out and I'm kind of late to jump on the bandwagon. I just feel like their shadows are getting better and better. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like every palette that comes out, every shadow that comes out, they definitely are getting creamier and more blendable and more pigmented, and I really love them. So this pink champagne color is my most favorite color in this palette. I absolutely love it. That's what's on the center of my eye right there. This deep purple, this hot chocolate, so good. Hot chocolate is such a good dark brown. It reminds me of Fudge, which is one of their like permanent single shadows. So yeah, I'm gonna stop babbling. Today's look is actually kind of an Anastasia look. I didn't even think about that, but I'm using her liquid lip and her eyeshadow, so that was totally accidental. But yeah, I love you guys. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you wanna see how to get this look, then just keep watching.
Hey guys, so for today's look, we are going to be starting with the skin, and I am using the Smashbox Primer Water. I just love how moisturizing and refreshing this primer water feels. And once it's completely dry, we're going to go in with the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation Stick. And the way I'm going to be applying this is I'm going to make a stripe across my chin, 2 stripes on my cheeks, and then I'm going to grab my foundation brush and blend this out. I have been going back and forth and having a total love-hate relationship with this like Artiste brush that legit looks like a hairbrush or toothbrush, whichever. At first, I hated it. I was like, this is terrible. Who would ever use this? Now it's growing on me, and I've been using it constantly. It's the only brush that I took with me when I went out of town, and it's really been growing on me. So I will go more in depth about this brush soon, but that is what I'm using to apply my foundation. It really makes a little bit go such a long way. Like, it really just spreads it around the face and into the face as opposed to soaking up extra product like most brushes will just naturally do. So now I'm going to be doing my concealer, and I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Concealer. This is not sponsored by Makeup Forever. Don't get it twisted, honey. I'm just a fan. So I'm going to be blending this out with a wet beauty blender. I like to make sure I get my beauty blender really wet and then wring it out so that it's like very moisturizing and it really soaks up a generous amount of product so you don't get cake face easily. Now we have to set this concealer. Like, my good friend, I told her how much I love this concealer, and she's like, girl, it creases like crazy on me. And I'm like, are you setting it? No. Okay, that's why. And then she said it, and now she's like, oh my God, I love it. So you really, if you're not someone who sets your under eye, you're probably not gonna like this concealer because it does get very creasy. But when you set it, it doesn't crease, and it's so high coverage, and it stays hydrating, which is what I love about it. So now I'm going to be setting the whole face, just lightly tapping some of the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Medium all over the face. A tip about these powders is they do oxidize a little bit, so go one shade lighter because an hour later they will be darker than when you first applied. So going in with the Anastasia palette, I am going to be using Sherbet. I know some people pronounce it sherbet, some apply it sherbet. I say sherbet. Whatever, tomato, right? So using a long-haired, fluffy blending brush, I'm going to put that in the entire crease area. I start in the lower crease, and then I'm going to bring it up a little bit. I'm going to go all the way from the outer corner to the inner corner of the eye. I really want this to be nice and blown out and smoky, evenly from the inner to the outer of the entire eye. So we're just going to wrap that around constantly. I'm putting it in fast forward motion because, honey, you're going to be blending for a minute. Then I'm going to grab Hot Chocolate, which is this really nice kind of cozy, warm brown shade, and a smaller blending brush. It's basically the same shape, but it's just a little bit tighter. And I'm going to use that to place that on the outer corner of my eye. And as you can see, I'm trying to keep it nice and low and put it directly in that crease, but I'm not going to bring it above the crease. When you're going in with dark colors like this, I know initially it can be kind of scary, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to put the super dark color on my eye. The trick is to keep it nice and low. And as you can see, as the product is wearing off my brush, I then begin to go back and forth in windshield wiper motions, and I take it a little higher, a little bit at a time, and then I go in with a clean brush and I go over it to make sure that we don't have any harsh lines. So again, just make sure that you stay low beneath the crease of the eye, and if you don't have a crease in your eye, you can create one. Just stay nice and low and tight, and then go up a little bit higher at a time, and then blend it out with a nice clean brush so that you don't have any harsh lines. It's just like the easiest way to apply a dark color without getting overboard and looking like you've been beaten up, you know? You can easily look like you've been like in a fight, and that's not a good look, so just keep it low and you'll be good to go. Oh my God, I rhymed, stop. So I'm gonna grab any pencil brush. This is like a super old, grungy pencil brush that I've had for like 5 years, but any pencil brush will do. It just shows that you don't have to have like the most expensive brushes to make things work, right? So I'm just packing that same hot chocolate color in the entire inner corner of the eye, making sure we're covering all that ground. We want it to be just as dark as the outer corner. And now I'm going to grab Buttery. Buttery is like a really nice soft kind of vanilla shade. It doesn't have much spark. It doesn't have like any shimmer. It's like a nice kind of semi-matte. And I'm just taking a fluffy brush, I'm going to put that on the brow bone just to kind of help blend out any harsh lines and use that as a nice soft highlight. Now going in with Pink Champagne, which is definitely the star of the show in this eye look. It's so beautiful and it's so pigmented. You can use a wet brush, like you can spray it with some Fix Plus or put some eye drops on your brush, or you can go in dry. My brush is like a tiny bit wet. I lightly sprayed like a little bit of mist of Fix Plus on it, just so that it has that really intense metallic sheen and it goes on super easy and it doesn't have fallout. If you're working with a shadow that has a ton of fallout, get your brush damp and then go in. It'll make it way more heavy duty and metallic, and it will also make it so you don't have fallout all over your face. So once we put this on the entire center of the eye, you want to cover like the whole ground. This is really going to give you like that wide-eyed, round-eyed, doe-eyed effect. We are going to take a little bit more of that hot chocolate and just go over the edges so that it's not harsh, because you don't like an intense, harsh edge. I will say I wish I took a little bit more time to blend out my right eye, because you can see that line right there. It's a little too harsh for me, but that's okay. We can move on. I should have gone back in with the pencil brush one more time to blend it out, but I didn't. So we can move past that, right? Okay. So now for liner, I'm using the Maybelline Black Gel Liner and just any small angle brush. And all I'm going to do is just lightly line my lash line. I'm not going to do wing liner today. I'm not going to do a bold, intense liner because I don't want to take away from the eye look. And also, if we did a wing, it would really create a cat eye, and I want this to be more of a round, doe-eyed effect instead. So we're taking all the steps to keep it a nice round-eyed look. For lashes, I'm going to be going in with the Vegas Nail Lashes in Grand Glamour. Oh, these lashes are so beautiful, and you can find them at the drugstore. They're available at Ulta. They are so grand. It's the perfect name, Grand Glamour. They are so beautiful. I will say they were initially a little uncomfortable, but I got over it real quick. Like, they adjusted quickly and they were totally fine. They are va va voom. They are so beautiful. They take any eye look and really bring it to life, as you can see. So now for the brows, I'm just doing as normal, filling them in with the Anastasia Brow Wiz. But you guys, her new brow pencil, I can't even talk about it. Actually, I will be talking about it very soon. I'm absolutely in love. But this was before I discovered. This was before, okay? I didn't know any better, okay? So please forgive me. But I am using the Brow Wiz in the shade Chocolate. And now, speaking of chocolate, we're going to go back in with hot chocolate and we're going to line the lower lash line. Today, I'm going to bring that color all the way in to the very, very inner tear duct of my eye. I normally don't do that on the lower lash line. I kind of fade it out and I let the inner corner of my eye be nice and like bright. But today I'm going to bring it all the way in. That way it kind of meets the upper lid color and is really a halo smoky eye. Then I'm going to take Metallic Plum, and I was not meaning to flip you guys off. I'm so sorry. You know I love you. And just taking that same, any pencil brush will do, I'm going to just blend out the entire lower lash line with Metallic Plum. Even though it says Metallic Plum, it's not like a super metallic. It's got a sheen in it, but it's not frosty. So that's what I use to blend that out. Then I'm going to take a nice creamy white eyeliner and put it on my lower lash line to, again, make the eyes look more open and round and doe-eyed, because that is what we're really going for with this halo smoky eye today. You can, of course, do a cat eye. You can do black in the inner rim. It's going to look gorgeous, but I really wanted to create a look for those of you who want your eyes to look very open and awake and alive. Then I'm going to be using just a little dab of MAC Nylon on the really inner corner, almost like on the bridge of the nose, just so that we can bring even more attention to this look. Then for lower lashes, I am using the MAC Extended Play Mascara. It's my favorite lower lash mascara of all time. And then contouring, I'm going to be using MAC Shade Stir. Now, this exact one that I'm holding in the compact came out in a limited edition collection, but Shade Stir is still available in their pro line. So you can get it on maccosmetics.com and in their pro stores. And basically it's just it's like a magnetic one that you just pop into like a Z palette, and it's the exact same product. So anyways, I am just softly contouring my face, sculpting out my cheekbones, bronzing the forehead. You know how we do, making sure there's no harsh lines. And then we are going to create a very harsh line using the Laura Mercier translucent powder and a really sharp brush. And I'm going to just sculpt this out, cover the entire lower half of the face, and then I will immediately go in and blend it out. Like literally I let it sit for 30 seconds and then I just blend it out so that it's still soft, and it just makes everything look nice and airbrushed, and that contour will not move for days, honey. Then for blush, I'm using MAC Warm Soul. Such a classic blush. This used to be my favorite blush by MAC when I worked there. One of my favorites. I can't commit to just one, but it's just a beautiful color. It's like a nice peachy, warm, bronzy shade with a little bit of shimmer. It just looks so natural. It's a great blush that works for every look pretty much. Then I'm going to be using the Anastasia Glow Kit, and I'm using the shade Bubbly. And I'm going to just be lightly highlighting the tops of the cheekbones. These kits are super cool. The fact that they have 4 different shades and they came out with 2 kits, I think it's really awesome. It's a great idea. You know, I'm obsessed with highlighting, so I love these kits. And then for lips, I am using Anastasia Sepia Liquid Lipstick. This is a color that I would never think to put on myself, but I was like, you know what? Let's have some fun. It goes with the eye look. It gives me like a kind of dark and edgy vibe, which I think is really cool. So I encourage you to step outside of your comfort zone too, because you never know what you'll end up liking, because I love this now. So to just set everything, I'm going to use Makeup Forever Mist and Fix Setting Spray, and we are good to go. So I hope that you enjoy this look, you guys. Make sure you send me pictures if you recreate it. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.